Hey folks, David Brody here in the CBN newsroom. Some analysis now on this quote deal, and I put that in air quotes, this deal that apparently Chuck and Nancy, right, Senator Schumer and Nancy Pelosi announced late last night. Donald Trump and the White House dialing that back, saying there's no deal that's been reached at all. Now, what we do believe we have here is loose parameters, and I'm putting that loosely in air quotes. And what I mean by that is it seems to me what has happened here is that, yes, a potential deal has been discussed, but there's nothing down on paper. That's why it's loose parameters. And yes, there does seem to be some indication that for now, the wall funding specifically going to building a wall would not be part of this DACA deal that we're hearing so much about, this deal that would leave dreamers here, in essence, legally in the future. And so that's causing an uprising around town, if you will, especially in the conservative world. Ann Coulter, very frustrated. Breitbart with the headline, Amnesty Dawn. And so the president taking hits from the base. Let's remember here and dial back for a moment, and that is this. Look, just because wall funding wouldn't be in a potential deal going forward when it relates to DACA doesn't mean wall funding is not going to happen. There are a lot of other vehicles, whether it be a rider on top of another bill, and a rider, by the way, all that means is just a component added on top of another bill that will go through Congress. And so there are a lot of different ways, a lot of vehicles that this could still get done. So you're going to hear a lot in the mainstream media today and the days to come talking about how Donald Trump went back on a promise, the wall's not going to be built. Not true at all. Remember, he's 8 months into his first year as president. Last time I checked, there's 3 years plus to go. So let's hold off on he broke his promise about building the wall. Donald Trump fully understands that if he doesn't get this wall built, or at least starting to be built, then he will not be president when 2020 rolls around and that election rolls around, because clearly that was what it was pretty much all about, especially on the campaign trail. Now, there is one other evangelical note that we should mention here. Remember, Donald Trump has been this culture warrior for evangelicals, and that has been going along very smoothly. As a matter of fact, many evangelical advisors calling him the best pro-life president ever. The Department of Justice is arguing in defense of cake makers in religious liberty cases around the country. And so there is a sense that Donald Trump is not going to break at all that culture warrior streak that he has. However, if he crosses evangelical, by the way, pun intended there, you get it, cross? Thank you. If he crosses evangelicals on the culture warrior aspect, that's a whole different ballgame. Then he's in some serious trouble. Right now, it looks like his base is not happy. And when I say his base, a specific part of his base, that Breitbart crowd part of his base, not happy on the immigration front. But it's dreamers. And honestly, let's be honest. If you look at the polling, most folks, even evangelicals, think these dreamers should stay. They've been here since they were 6 years old. They did nothing wrong. So I don't think it politically hurts him as much as a lot of people think it will. We'll see about the wall, though. That's the wild card. All right, David Brody here in the CBN Newsroom.